Okay, hi there students. Here we have an essay at level C2 for the CPE. This is one of these essays where you have to compare two texts. It says write an essay summarising and evaluating the key points from both texts. Use your own words throughout as far as possible and include your own ideas in your answers. Write your answer in 240 to 280 words. Okay, so first text. Fundamental questions about human nature. There can be no single simple definition of human nature. Many intertwining ideas in the history of philosophy have helped us to form our understanding of ourselves. Ideas of human nature radically affect the kind of society we live in and the kind we would like to live in. How far do we need society? Is it feasible to imagine living in splendid isolation? Linked to this is the question as to whether we are all naturally only concerned for ourselves and only willing to cooperate with others when it is in our interest to do so. Are we, on the other hand, social beings by nature, eager to cooperate with others for the common good? The study of human nature. Ideas about human nature are of their essence philosophical. They are not simply the result of scientifically established facts, but are general conceptions arrived at through rational argument. They are inevitably often controversial, but the theories produced determine our vision of ourselves. Most writing on the subject is explicitly philosophical, since though philosophical assumptions about our nature lie at the root of any discipline concerned with the activities of men and women, it is not surprising that some thinkers have written primarily from the standpoint of another intellectual discipline. History, politics, social anthropology, to name only the most obvious. All proceed with some views about human nature. Write your essay, and this essay is by Maria. So let me just check the number of words to begin with. Okay, so 257, that's good. 257 words. Okay, so let's see, 240 to 280 is perfect. Okay, human nature has always been at the forefront in heated philosophical discussions. The two texts given approach the topic of human nature from different yet intertwined standpoints. Okay, it's not a bad first sentence at all. Many intertwining ideas. It would be better if you could find a different word from intertwined. Let's see, from many, yet interlinked, connected. I think interlinked. Yet interlinked standpoints. The reason being is they've used intertwined from different yet how okay, here's a better one. Yet inextricably linked standpoints. That sounds much better. Human nature has also been at the forefront in heated discussions. I would normally say at the forefront of. I'm not sure in is wrong. So human nature has always been at the forefront of, I would probably go, any heated philosophical discussion. Of any. The two texts approach the topic of human nature from different yet inextricably linked standpoints. The first text posits, like the word, that human nature is multifaceted in and of itself, and ideas that we see emerging and taking root have a palpable effect on our lives and society in which we find ourselves. Okay, so let's see. It's not bad, but it's not that natural. So the first text posits that human nature is multifaceted in and of itself, and I would say, and the ideas that we see emerging and the ideas that we see emerging and taking root, and any ideas that we see emerging and taking root have a palpable effect on our lives and on our society. Let's see, in which we find ourselves. It's not necessary. Yeah? It reads much better without it. The first text posits that human nature is multifaceted in and of itself. I love that. And any ideas that we see emerging and taking root have a palpable effect on our lives and our society. The ambiguousness, like it, of human nature brings about a whole host of questions that, just like any other questions, require answers. So, brings about a question that normally the collocation is to raise. The ambiguousness of human nature raises a whole host of questions a whole raft of questions. That, just like any other questions, require answers. So let's make this sound that I think I would probably change this ever so slightly. That are a whole host of questions that raises a whole host of questions that require answers, that we feel that we feel we must answer. It raises a whole host of questions that we feel we must answer, that we feel that we we feel we must answer one of these questions. One of these questions. We're doing too much questions. One of these doubts. One of these uncertainties questions. One of these. I think I might just leave out the word questions. One of these, for example, looks at humans from the point of view of their immediate relationship with society. Colon. Good. I like the use of colons. One of these, yeah, okay. Is it the common good we are most concerned about, or does it all boil down to the benefits we derive from having the backs of one another? From having each other's plural, each other's backs. Is it the common good we are most concerned about, or does it all boil down to the benefits we derive from having each other's backs? One of these, okay, unknowns. For example, looks at humans from the point of view of their immediate relationship with society. Good. In the second text, philosophical nature of the discussion is highlighted, with the opinion that every discipline having to do with the activities of man goes hand in hand with some or other belief about human nature and proceeds from such a belief. Woof. Okay, in the second text, the philosophical nature of the discussion is highlighted, with the opinion that is highlighted. In the second text, this philosophical nature of the discussion is highlighted. No. Yeah. The writer opines that every discipline having to do with every discipline related to the activities of man, the writer opines that every discipline related to the activities of man goes hand in hand with some belief or other, with some belief about human nature. Okay. So the writer opines that every discipline related to the activities of man goes hand in hand with some belief, with a specific belief about human nature, and proceeds directly from, I would put it, from said belief. Well, it's still a bit. In the second text, the philosophical nature of the discussion is highlighted. The writer opines that every discipline related to the activities of man goes hand in hand with a specific belief about human nature and proceeds directly from said belief. To conclude, both texts rightfully emphasize how controversial the topic of human nature is. Good. Its philosophical component predisposes a numerous amount of running theories and questions arising out of these theories through their comparison. Okay, to conclude, both texts rightfully emphasize how controversial the topic of human nature is. Its philosophical component predisposes a large number of running theories, of ongoing theories. Okay, its philosophical component predisposes us to numerous ongoing theories and questions arising, I would say, from these theories through their comparison. So through, I think I would probably say, as a result of comparison, and as a result of their comparison. As far as I'm concerned, trying to come up with a more or less conclusive definition of what lies at the base of our nature is no mean feat. But there is a beauty in this constant search for truth of what it really means to be human. Okay, you started to come out of here. Yes, the text in itself is the original pair of texts are quite complex. I think you're doing quite well with this, but you need to, I think, try and simplify a little bit, because it makes it difficult to read and difficult to understand. Okay, let me go from here again. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, trying to come up with it's a very phrasally verb, trying to, and this more or less as well, this is trying to I'm going to use pin down a conclusive definition, and an absolute definition, I'm going to add the word and absolute definition of what lies at the base of our nature is no mean feat. So, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, something better than but. No, however, there is a beauty in this constant search for the truth of what it really means to be human. Okay, let's see how I've done with these changes to the numbers. I'd say it's probably about the same. 248, it's still within. 248 words. Okay, so let's see. Content. You've completed the task well. Have you met the criteria? Yes, you've tried to include everything. I would have liked this question answered. Is it feasible to imagine living in splendid isolation? That's definitely part of it you don't touch on. Okay, I think I'm going to give you a 4 for content. Communicative achievement. The writing is appropriate for the task. You've used the right style and register for the genre. Yes, but there are one or two little bits that are probably under formality. And I know I've used pin down instead of come down with. Maybe I might even use something else, trying to well, okay, but I think in one or two cases it's slight unformality. The style is good. I think the writing is suitable for your communicative purposes. I think in places it's a little bit difficult to follow. That's probably the next one. But I also think that this second text suffers from the same thing. So communicative achievement, 5 or 4. I think probably a 5. Organisation. The writing's coherently organised, logical and ordered. The ideas are clearly connected. Organisational features. I think the organisational features are appropriate for the genre. Connection between the ideas. Okay, yes, as well. Let's see. In the previous one, previous communicative achievement, I'd like to give you 4.5 for that, and 4.5 for organisation. So communicative achievement 5, organisation 4, or the other way round. Language. There is a good range of vocabulary and language. These are accurately used and appropriate for the topic in the genre. Even if there's some mistakes, there are almost no mistakes in this. The number of mistakes is very good. Sometimes it's a little bit unnatural. What am I going to give you for this? I think I'm probably going to give you a 5 for the range of vocabulary and grammar. So 4, 5, 4.5. This is definitely an A. So it's a good essay. I think you can probably do better than this. It's certainly I think quite a good essay. I don't think this is an easy one to write at all, because I think the two texts in themselves are rather complicated. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Compare two texts, and this is about human nature.